Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw responsive sellers active ahead of the 1985 naked VPOC, and from there, the market has been balancing within a range. At this point, heading into the open, our bias is neutral to bullish, given the strong move that we saw yesterday, and the expectation is for the market to balance within a range. Heading into the open, we have pre-market support 70 to 71.5, and in the event of a break below that area, the next support zone is 64 quarter to 67 quarter, and then we have support at 62 quarter and 56 to 58. And given the strong buying that we saw yesterday, the expectation is for responsive buyers to be active on pullbacks into support. On the upside, we have pre-market resistance at 78.5 to 80.5, and then we have the overnight high 84.5, naked VPOC and open gap above, and the initial resistance zone at 89.5 to 92. Now, even though on the smaller time frames the buyers are more dominant, as the market heads higher into those resistance zones at 89.5 to 92, 95, 98, and 2001 to 2003, those are larger time frame areas of resistance, and the market can be exhausted and overbought into those areas. So responsive sellers can still be active at those zones, especially at 95 to 98 and 01 to 03. So the expectation today is for the market to balance, but as we head up into those areas of resistance, which are larger time frame resistance zones, that's where the sell side can be active, and then the market can start balancing again. As far as the upside objective goes, a test of 78.5 to 80.5 would not be a big deal, and 89.5 to 92 is a resistance zone that has potential to get tested as long as the market's holding initial support and we're seeing some decent upside momentum. But once you start running into those bigger areas of resistance, then the risk reward really becomes questionable for any new buyers entering the market at initial resistance 95, 98, 01, 03. So those are spots where we can see a rejection and even a failure. So today, the underlying bias is bullish based on yesterday's breakout attempt and the breakout that we saw in the Russell yesterday and Nasdaq. So we know that the buy side is dominant, and typically we don't see a complete reversal after such a strong day, even if this is going to become a failure, on the larger time frame. It doesn't have to happen necessarily today. Today the market can still balance within a range. So we will be looking for long setups on pullbacks into support, and we'll be targeting zone to zone moves. So because we're expecting the market to be fairly balanced today, today is not necessarily the best day to simply get in a trade and hold it all day, right? Since we are expecting two-sided movement, the idea is to look for zone-to-zone trades, and if you're getting in at very good trade location, then you can still get a high reward potential trade-off on a day like today. But you don't want to overstay on either side in a balanced environment or on a day where you're expecting two-sided movement. So those are really the main ideas for the day. Let's see if the buy side can hold ES above pre-market support and above initial support. A poke below pre-market support would not necessarily invalidate the overall bullish bias. And if we're holding above 70 to 71.5, then it's actually a confirmation that the buy side is fairly strong, and we can get a move back up towards the overnight high, that naked VPOC and gap 85, 86, and 89.5 to 92. The 95, 98 is stronger resistance, and that's where the risk reward really starts favoring the sell side, or at the very minimum, the reward potential is very questionable for any buyers entering at 95, 98 and above. So that's where the short sellers can really step in, and we can see more of a rejection and failure. So those are our main thoughts. Let's see if the buy side can maintain the short-term control from yesterday, and we'll take it from there.